Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We have another good one today. I think I'm going to share with each of you the 5 main reasons why I still run metal halide lighting over my current reef tank. Stay tuned. Well folks, I hope everyone is having a awesome summer. It definitely has been a minute since I have uploaded. As with summer, there's been traveling, vacations, time outside, so the tank has been doing well, and I found a few minutes here to try to put together a video. So I hope it's a good one. First though, a disclaimer. I have used metal halides, all T5s, and all LEDs in the past and have been successful with each light source over a reef tank. So my focus today is not to suggest one light source is better than the other in terms of coral growth or coloration, but to communicate just simply why I love metal halide lighting and choose still to run an older lighting technology to this day. Now, I firmly believe you can be successful with any of the major lighting sources out there, and to be fair, I currently run all 3 lighting technologies right now. I have metal halides, predominantly for shimmer and spectrum. I run T5s for coverage, and LEDs I run for the actinics and that superior blue pop that they provide. However, if I could only choose or had to choose just one source of lighting, it would definitely be metal halide. Okay, so let's get into it. Reason number 1 of why I still run metal halides. It makes my tank unique. So I want my tank to be different than others. I want something that separates my tank from all the other tanks out there, which are all fabulous. Metal halides are definitely not as commonly used anymore, as it has become difficult to source bulbs and fixtures, etc. However, I really enjoy running them because it serves as this unique factor or characteristic of my system. There is just something personally, attractive to me about running gear that hardly anyone else is running, and I feel like it makes my tank stand out, especially if I can demonstrate great coral growth and color still using this older technology. But it's proven, right? So, you know, also it serves as a great talking point or a frequent talking point about my system, especially when other reefers are trying to compare their tanks to mine. It's the one thing that is consistently different. And so I just really love having something unique and different about my tank in comparison to all the rest. So that is my reason number 1. Now, reason number 2 is I simply find metal halide lighting the most aesthetically pleasing to my eye. And notice I say my eye, so this is 100% opinion. After having experience with all the major lighting sources out there, or types of lights, right, that you can put over a system, I find the shimmer of a metal halide light to be the most natural in appearance. I find the color rendition to be the best. Pictures are just easy to take of my tank under metal halides. And overall, I think, this is opinion, I think my corals just look better under metal halide lighting. So since I believe my corals look their best under this type of light, I will continue to try to use metal halides until I can simply no longer find the bulbs, right? So at this time, I just don't have a reason to switch. And even though there are some negatives, the positives for me still outweigh those negatives. Running a small fan, for example, to cool the tank a couple degrees is not a big sacrifice to me in my situation. Changing bulbs every 18 months doesn't really bother me. And I'm lucky that my power bill here in the United States is quite manageable. Additionally, my particular fixture that I have isn't super bulky or an eyesore to me or in my opinion. So ultimately, I just have little reason to change at this time. Now, reason number 3 of why I still run metal halides, and I kind of hinted at it, metal halides are just easy. They're proven. So when my tank or when your tank is not doing well, and you have to begin that process of elimination of what could all be going on, I love that I don't have to worry about my lighting. I have found that metal halide lighting to be the most forgiving light source for a reef tank. I can run extremely high par. Some of my corals right now are getting hit with nearly 1,000 par, and I'm not worried about them bleaching, fading, or going pastel on me. So high par for metal halide, in my experience, just doesn't cause a lot of harm. I'm not smart enough to explain why. I've just done this for a little bit. And the other reason that, in addition to this, when I say it's easy or simple, my fixture is just on a simple old school timer. The bulbs fire up and then they turn off after, I think it's 5 or 6 hours. I run the metal halide bulbs. So there's no tweaking of spectrum or making adjustments or having that temptation to always fiddle with your spectrum or increased intensity. Outside of really just raising or lowering the fixture, I can't really fiddle with much. So this in turn forces stability, which is what we are all after. Reason number 4, affordability. You can pick up some ballast, some bulbs, a reflector or two, a fixture for relatively cheap. Yes, they are harder to find these days, but they're pretty cost effective. The startup costs are going to be much less than attempting to purchase multiple high quality LED units that are going to give you good coverage that I seek anyway. So running metal halides, though they do have costs that add up over time, but it would take, to be honest, it would take years for that to occur, for those costs to accrue enough to be substantial to worry about it. For example, I likely, if I went LED again, I would probably upgrade my units perhaps on a 5-year interval anyways. So I really have a hard time seeing how another lighting technology would be more affordable. Okay? Now with metal halide lighting, it's relatively inexpensive, I'm saying, and you get everything. You get full spectrum, you get high par, you get wonderful coverage, and the investment is small. But again, it's difficult, right, to track down these sources of fixtures and bulbs, etc., especially just on a used market. Now lastly, reason number 5 of why I still run metal halides, it's because of the radium bulb, the infamous radium bulb. This bulb alone has made it very difficult for me personally to stick with other lighting technologies for very long. I find the color rendition this bulb provides to just be superior and difficult to replicate. Your corals will pop in appearance, but the tank will be white. It'll be bright. It won't be that Windex blue or washed out. So when you have a radium bulb, I run the 250 watt radium bulbs. When they're driven appropriately on an M80 ballast, it's wonderful par. You have excellent par. And to my eye, a radium bulb produces a light that I have attempted to mimic for years. I've probably purchased every T5 bulb out there and tried every combination of T5 bulbs in the last 10 years. And when I've ran LEDs, I've fiddled with spectrum so much to try to mimic what the radium bulb gives your eye and what it gives me. And I have this benchmark now. So I will fiddle with lighting for months and make constant tweaks in an attempt to produce the appearance of a radium metal halide bulb, and I never have been able to get there. I just haven't. So that is my final main reason number 5 of why I still run metal halides. Well, my reefing friends, thank you again for tuning in and listening and checking out my content and trying to figure out why, why this dude still runs this old lighting technology. I often get labeled as a dinosaur in the hobby, and I suppose I am a dying breed, as most hobbyists these days weren't even around to experience the metal halide era. And even though you may not like and subscribe to metal halide lighting, I appreciate you coming in and hearing my thoughts. Thanks again, folks, for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll see you all in the next one.